So first of all, I would like to thank the good people over at Rockpool Publishing. They sent over this deck for us to review. It was a beautiful, lovely, generous, thoughtful gift because I've really been looking forward to reviewing this deck. But it's specifically for the purposes of review. So I'm going to show you. I showed you the Seasons of the Rich Yule, if I'm not mistaken. This one is Litha. They did one for each of the seasons. So this is the next one. This is not out yet. This one is for midsummer. It's not out yet, but it is coming out very soon. So underneath this video, I will put a link to where you can purchase this deck, a legitimate copy, when it does come out. My name is QueenAusetHeru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to anyone, everyone who might like it too. Please drop us a positive comment in the comment section. And if you want to get a reading done, please email me or hit me up on social media. Underneath this video, you're going to see the link to this deck. Then you're going to see my information. Let's see. You're also going to find my Patreon. Please come join us. We are doing a book club. And it's an astrology book. Astrology for yourself. So if you're interested in learning how to read your own natal chart, this is the book club for you. Okay? Let's get started. So, finger holes. I love a good finger hole moment. The box is gorgeous. Rockpool generally has really nice boxes. Look at that. The last couple that I've looked at, I love the foiling. They have like this purple foiling on this one. So they do a great job with their art. Ooh. And it's kind of long too. So there's the picture of the card. It's in full color. It's just a picture of the card, the name of the card, the number of the card, keywords, whatever the saying is that is on the card. And then they tell you a lot more about the card. Beautiful. Like I said, look at that art. They really do it up with the graphic design. Seriously. We have a lot of spreads in here. Cool. And so a lot of times online, people will be looking for spreads for that season. So you have spreads in here that you can use with these cards, but you also can use those spreads with other decks. So if you're somebody who's like, oh, I need some midsummer spreads, but I want to use them with my tarot, you can use them in conjunction with this deck and use them both together. Here's the bottom of the box. Again, the same moon. And they have some paper around it. Thank you, Rockpool, for always using paper instead of plastic. Then we're going to take a look at the first card. These are the backs of the cards. Okay, so it's that same moon. Yeah, I think it's the same moon on all of them in this series, if I'm not mistaken. So far, I've seen about 4 or 5 of these Season of the Witch decks. The cardstock, not too thick, not too thin, very glossy. So if you like glossy, remember it's a little difficult when you have a ring light like mine. Wow. Okay, so this is the first one. Oh, look at that, y'all. I gotta show you that. The edges. Purplish fuchsia gilded edges. Nice touch. These are very well done. I'm dying to see these now. Let's take a look. The first one. Let's see. There we go. All right. The first thing I notice is how beautiful the artwork is. There's a woman of color here with a lot of hair. I love it. I love the art. I love that it's painted looking. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. Reminds me of when I was a kid and my mother would let me take my bike out. I mean, that was a big thing. For those of you who don't know, in the 70s and 80s, having a bike, the bike was like your car. We took the bikes everywhere. This looks like a butterfly. Oh, I love how they have diversity in these. The very first two cards are showing diversity. That was my problem with the first deck that came out from this particular section. I think it was called Seasons of the Witch Samhain, and there was absolutely no diversity. But I love the fact that in all of the decks after that, you've seen them change that. So that's really cool. Cancer comes up in midsummer, so it makes sense for that zodiac sign. Oh, these are pretty. I love it. I love the artwork. Again, midsummer citrus. I love it. I'm very delighted by this one. I mean, I like all of the decks that came out of this series that I have seen, except for the first one, like I mentioned, Clear Quartz. Okay. But for some reason, I'm very connected with this one. I got to see the one for Beltane, because I haven't seen that one. I got to take a look. But I'm very connected with this one. This is really pretty. This checks off a lot of the bells. I like to see diversity. I like to see beauty. I'm not seeing any age diversity yet. Lately, I have been seeing more and more crones in the decks. She looks more like a mother, I would say. Or a beautiful little girl. So I would like to see some crones in here. And I don't see much masculine energy represented. So I'm thinking we're getting what is a divine feminine vibration, which I'm not mad at all. I have a lot of divine feminine decks. I have divine masculine decks too. So it doesn't bother me when you don't see one or the other, or there's just a little of one or the other. I'm really cool with the concept. I like the decks that are balanced, where you see both, and I liked it when you see none of one or the other. I was just looking at the Aphrodite Tarot, and it's mostly women. So, and I have one called the Divine Masculine, and that's, I think, all men, if I'm not mistaken. And I have another one that, there's another one, I think about it, that is a masculine archetype deck, and that's all men. So I like that. I don't mind that at all. I don't mind it any way that they do it. I don't mind it. Beautiful. I love how you see so many flowers in midsummer and summer. One of the things I love is spring too. One of the things I love is the wildlife and the flowers and being able to be outside. I love this diversity going on here. I also love the fact that you can't tell if that person, you can't tell if it's two women, a woman and a guy. You can't really tell. I love that. I love that. That really gives a nod towards diversity. That person could be non-binary. Love that. You have no idea what they are, and you don't care. You love them. You just love their depiction. Beautiful. There are often heat waves during this time. Okay. And that kills the wildlife. But even though the wildlife around her is dead, she's still laying there at peace. And that does happen. I remember my mother would plant flowers every year. And one year it was so dry. And all her beautiful roses just wilted. They just dried up. Oh, it was so sad. But the next year they were right back, large and in charge. I love this art, man. I think out of all of the Seasons of the Witch decks that I've seen in this series, this one is my favorite right now. I have to see Beltane to really say, but right now, this is my favorite. I just think it's so pretty. I think it's so peaceful. I love the feminine energy of it. I love the children. There's so many children in this deck. So far, we've seen a lot of cute little kids, so I'm feeling that. Insects are not my favorite, but they are definitely a large part of midsummer, especially the mosquitoes in Philadelphia. Oh my God, lemonade. Oh, my mother and my grandmother made lemonade from scratch in a huge pitcher. A huge pitcher. And iced tea too. Oh, look at that. They have a pretty rose quartz. I love rose quartz. Oh, look at the light worker. Oh, these are whimsical. They're beautiful. They're happy. They're whimsical. This is my vibe. This is so my vibe. Says the woman with all the mushrooms. All the crystal mushrooms. This is definitely my vibe. The mermaid. Beautiful. Ooh, money magic. Make it rain, baby. And look at the diversity here. I love that. I love to see the different cultures and ages because she is a crone with the white hair. There's our crone. I love to see the different cultures and the different, ages and the different walks of life come together. That's the one thing I think as a global society we need to embrace more. And she has white hair too. I think she's a crone as well. I just wish we would embrace each other in that way. Oh, look at those pretty. Because it's like there's so many different people here. And we have so many similarities, but we have so many differences. And I feel like we often get hung up on the differences when it's the similarities that really make us one. This is pretty. Look at those roses. I love roses. Roses are my favorite, particularly pink roses, but I love all kinds. Okay. Rot and decay. So another part of life. Scavenger hunt. Okay. Again, the diversity. So they really made up for the lack of it in the first deck. I love that. I really do. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. And you know what else I appreciate? I appreciate that there's no border. I love how the artwork just expands as far as the eye can see. Love it. Oh, who doesn't love berries in the summertime? These are summer berries. Okay. Making a pie. And look at her tattoos. I see you. So kind of like a modern, even though it's kind of whimsical, it has that little modern vibe going on too. Beautiful. Oh, the sunbathing. I love how she's hugging it. That's beautiful. And then last, no, that's not last. We have more. Yes, there's more. Sun magic. Okay, because I thought it was 36 cards and it's still going. I love it. Sun salutation, yes. When we did yoga class, we would always do this one. I remember that one. Oh, look at the dinner. Oh. I'm single. And one of the things that I fantasize about is going on a picnic. I fantasize about that a lot. Getting a pretty traditional picnic basket and going on a picnic. Her eyes are two different colors. That's got to mean something. Let me see. Oh, the sunstone. Okay, yes, I have a sunstone. The crystal. Okay, all right. Tea. Remember I said iced tea? Yes. Yeah, you can't have summer without iced tea. Not in the States anyway. I don't know if other cultures get down with iced tea, but if you're out there and you've never had iced tea, all you do is make regular hot tea and then put it in the refrigerator and let it cool. You can put sweetener in it or not. Some people put sugar, some people put honey, and then ice cubes. Some people add milk, like I used to as a young girl, and some people drink it plain. Very refreshing on a hot day. But I must say lemonade was always my favorite. Here is 43. Wand making. A lot of people make their wands just out of sticks they find in the woods, which I think is really the best way. Lastly, so it's 44 cards. Wildflowers. So we're going to find one that I am particularly obsessed with. And I'm obsessed with all of them, so that's not going to be easy. But I want to do this one. This one is my favorite drink for the summer. And we're going to take the book and we're going to see what goodness they provide today. This is card number 22. So first we're going to see how easy it is to find it. It is very easy. Just turned to 22. There we go. All right, let's move this around. I'm going to read it to you. Keywords. This one says 22 lemonade. Making the best of things. Silver linings. Make the most of your situation by opening your mind to new possibilities. Yeah, they always tell us make lemons into lemonade. So if life gives you something sour, make it into something sweet. We all know the phrase that when life, there it is, that when life hands you lemons, you should make lemonade. It's a colorful way of telling you to make the best of a bad situation. Sure, lemons may not be very sweet, but that doesn't mean they're worthless. Many of the world's best creations were born out of sorrow, frustration, and broken hearts. That is very true. Oh, that's true. No wonder this is my favorite card out the deck. The need to make the most out of very little opens your mind, forcing you to consider what else is available to you now. Sometimes, despite your best efforts, things don't work out the way you hoped, and you're left sifting through the pieces of what could have been. When someone betrays you or leaves you behind, you lose a job, or a plan falls apart, it can be easy to find yourself giving into feelings of self-pity and grief. Don't allow it to take root. It's time to regroup, opening your mind and heart to what's possible. Channel all of the energy you're putting towards your sorrow and redirect it towards discovering something even greater. I think this card is for me, seriously, because a friend of mine died a few weeks ago. My best friend, somebody that I love dearly and talked to several times throughout the day. And I have had a very hard time. This is the first video I've done since that happened. I've had a very hard time getting my footing. And I really think this, I really think that this card is talking to me. Now, the interesting thing is each one of these has a spell. Yeah, not all of them have a spell, but I'm seeing lots of spells in here. So the spell for this one is Lemonade Ice Cube spell. This spell is perfect for anyone who wants to sweeten up a situation or experience or life in general. You will face many hardships in life, and transmuting that into something that serves you is a powerful act within itself. You will need some lemonade, an ice tray, and a jar or a glass. Pour the lemonade into the ice tray mindfully and slowly. As each cube fills, make sure to pray, chant, whisper, or whatever you feel called to do to set the same intention into each cube. Leave in the freezer overnight. Then the next day, place the cubes into the jar. Pour fresh lemonade into the glass while setting your intention into the lemonade going into the glass. Stir the contents of the glass to match the number of cubes you placed in the glass. If you put in 7 cubes, then stir 7 times clockwise to amplify or bring in, or counterclockwise to let go or release. Drink the lemonade in a peaceful place, preferably outside in nature, and enjoy the magic unraveling all around and within. That is a beautiful, simple, probably very effective spell. I'm definitely going to use that. I love that. And as I'm shifting through the book, I'm seeing that there are a lot of spells in here. So if you're somebody who's a spellcaster, you can use the spells that are in here. If you're not a spellcaster, you can just use the summary and the beautiful cards. This has a little something for everyone. We can use this for daily pulls, as always, in conjunction with a larger reading with other decks. Altar, definitely can use these with the altar. And because they have that kind of like glossiness over top of them, if you got a little ash on it or a little bit of droplets of water, it wouldn't be the end of the world. You'd be able to clean these off in most cases. I'd be careful with cards, of course, but it wouldn't be the end of the world. I have spilled things on cards like these, not major spills, but little droplets, and was able to just wipe them off and had no damage. So these are going to be great for those things. So if you like this deck as much as I do, because I'm definitely going to be using this, and we're getting ready to come up on summer now, so I'm definitely going to be using this. So if you like this deck as much as I do, please check out the link underneath this video, and you can get a legitimate copy there. Thank you so much for being here with me today, and you come back soon because I have a lot more to say. See you later.